Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel for the weekly weigh-in where I walk you through my week on Weight Watchers. This is weekly weigh-in number 11 and today is Friday, November 17th, 2017. I have a whole lot that I want to talk about today, so before this video gets too long and too rambly, I'm going to just jump right in. First, we're going to talk about how many points I ate this week. As always, I have my trusty cheat sheet here. Now, as a quick little reminder, this past week was my birthday week. So as of last Friday, it was a birthday weekend. So I knew that the eating was going to be plentiful this week. So knowing that fact, here are the results. My points for Friday was 36. Saturday was 30, Sunday was 38. That was the day of the party, and I'll get back to that. 38 is actually not so bad. Monday was also 38. Tuesday, my birthday, was 51, Wednesday was 28, and Thursday, yesterday, was 29. Now, looking back at the week I had, Friday we were downtown, and we ended up going to this Latin restaurant called Latinicity, or something like that, and it was kind of like this food court, but everything had like a Latin fusion, a Mexican fusion, and I ended up getting a burrito, just a plain old Chipotle-esque, but a little bit smaller burrito, and I hadn't eaten all that much that day, so I actually clocked in pretty well, and that also included a treat from Godiva Chocolates. I took a wild guess at how to track the chocolate because nowhere on the Weight Watchers app could I find exactly what it was that I ate, so I guessed, but I still clocked in at like 38-ish or 36-ish, which was great, which is fine. Saturday was 30 even because I knew that Sunday was going to be party day. Sunday, we ordered thin crust pizza from Giordano's, and there were a lot of people and only 3 pizzas. I thought it was going to be far too much food to order 3 large pizzas, and apparently we probably could have gone with a 4th or even 5th pizza. But I'm okay with the fact that we didn't because I only ate, I think, 4 pizza squares of pineapple pizza. And pizza is something that I can sit there and if it's good pizza, I can eat it and eat it and eat it. And I couldn't because we wanted to make sure there was enough for everybody and I was just up and talking and moving. I didn't have a plate. I'd pick up a piece of pizza and I was walking around with my little piece and then I'd go back and get another one. So I was able to indulge without actually indulging in the pizza, and the cake happened and my husband cut me this ginormous, and I mean it looked really ginormous, but in the grand scheme of like cake you get at restaurants, it wasn't that huge piece of cake, and on Friday night I only ate half of it because it was a lot of sugar and it was a lot of crazy, and I was like, not gonna finish all of it. So I didn't even have a whole giant piece of cake or anything. Everything was done in moderation and it felt so good. Tuesday, my birthday, is where the real indulgence happened, and I actually was eating pretty well throughout the day, but I did go, if you watch my vlog, I did go to Starbucks and got a peppermint mocha, which I modified a bit with sugar-free mocha sauce because they don't freaking have the sugar-free peppermint, but they have sugar-free mocha sauce. So I kind of did a build your own skinny peppermint mocha, and I used only 1 pump of peppermint because that was regular, and a grande usually comes with 4, which is a crap ton of sugar. So I wasn't quite sure how to track it, so I tracked it as 6 and called it a day. I could have been more, probably was more, tracked it as 6. And then Tuesday night, I decided I wanted sushi for dinner. I went to Body Pump as per usual and got my workout in because my husband was home but working. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to class, and we ordered sushi and had a takeout, and it was delightful. I ate 2 of my favorite sushi rolls ever that had like eel on top and spicy crab in the middle, and it was delicious and it was indulgent and I enjoyed every second. Again, not entirely sure how to track it. I ended up with 51 with me totally winging it. Wednesday and Thursday I clocked in under my 30 smart points, and that is because I wanted to make sure I was able to even out the damage I did earlier in the week. And the way I did that was I actually focused on high protein. Like, I'm always pretty focused on high protein, but I especially focused on high protein during the last 2 days, and that seems to have worked really, really well because my results were, last week I weighed in at 162.2 pounds. This morning I weighed in at 161.4 for a loss of 0.8 pounds, which, oh, thank you weight loss gods. I so needed this win today. More on that in a minute. I'm not at my new decade yet, and I don't even care because I lost weight during my birthday week. This is awesome. And I think a lot of that, while I balanced out my eating a little bit, I think a lot of it had to do with the fitness that I got and the fit points that I earned 90 fit points and I used 30 of them. So I went way into my weeklies, obliterated those, and used 30 of my fit points and still had plenty left over, which was amazing. And it wasn't even because I went and did anything intense at the gym. I kind of did my normal thing, but I was just moving so much more, cleaning the house and doing this and that and the other thing. And I averaged about 13,500 steps a day. And there were 2 days during the week that I didn't get 10,000 steps. So most of my days ended up being like 15,000. It was insane the amount of movement I was getting. But between that and being conscious about give a little here, get a little here, I managed to lose weight in a particularly indulgent week, which is amazing. Now that we know the results of this week's weigh-in, let's talk about a couple of different things that are happening, are going to happen, etc., etc. First of all, before you guys ask, I do not know anything about the new Weight Watchers plan that is coming, except for what rumors have been going around. The rumors are higher protein items, lean protein items might end up on a 0 Smart Points list. And because of the extended 0 Smart Points list, our points are gonna get docked by 7 and all that jazz. There's a lot of change coming, but we're still using Smart Points. The Smart Points values of things are not going up. However, none of this is official coming out of my mouth. The couple of Weight Watchers leaders that I do know personally have mouths like steel traps and have not told me anything. Nothing specific. So this is all based on rumors and stuff that I have seen around. Now, my particular feelings on this, while many of people are very mad that they're going to get docked some points, I'm actually pretty okay with it because a lot of stuff that I like to eat is going on the 0 points list, which might, at the end of the day, give me more freedom to eat what I want and like enjoy a chicken dinner. How cool would it be to have a chicken dinner and only have to pay for like your potato? Seriously, or have eggs in the morning and actually not have my eggs count instead of having to focus on egg whites. So all things considered, I am really looking forward to the launch of this new plan. However, my husband and I are going to be on a cruise the week that it launches. I think it launches the day we leave, which is December 3rd. And if that's the case, I'm not going to know anything about the plan until I get back because I don't think I'm gonna have internet access. So those are my short little thoughts on what is coming. I don't know if any of it is actually true. In a couple of weeks, we will all know together and we can have a further discussion on the new plan then. Next, let's talk about looking forward. As I mentioned, today might be my last weekly weigh-in for a while. I will for sure not do a weekly weigh-in next week because who weighs in the day after Thanksgiving? I'm gonna be real. Like, I am probably not going to be, even if I'm on track and on trajectory to lose weight, the sheer probably bloat of having a slightly bigger meal the night before weigh-in probably is going to have a different result on the scale. If I can manage to behave myself on Black Friday, maybe I will do a Saturday weigh-in just to see where everything ended up. But the likelihood of me being able to put up regular weekly weigh-ins from now until the first of the year is very slim. However, I am bringing my filming equipment with me on vacation just in case the opportunity strikes. Even though there might not be a weekly weigh-in, there will definitely be stuff going up on my channel. Make sure you're following me on Instagram for Insta stories and Instagram posts all the time. And I am, in fact, going to be doing Vlogmas in some capacity this year. So let's talk about the plan for my vacation, because I notoriously get off track whenever we go to Florida because there's just so much good food. We eat out a lot. It's really easy to get lazy. And I am really determined to not let that happen this time around. We are gone for a long time, and that is going to be the perfect opportunity for me to completely fall off the wagon and get rid of the last 12 weeks of progress that I have made. And I really don't want to do that. So I think what I'm actually going to do is, this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but because we are driving down to Florida, I'm packing my scale, like my body scale and my food scale, to make sure I have my primary tools. I need to have a food scale in that kitchen, and I do not think that my in-laws have one. So I'm solving the problem and bringing my own. I'm also bringing a bunch of food that I typically eat, like my no-cow protein bars and Quest bars and some healthy snacks that I have laying around and whatnot, because I want to make sure there's food for our road trip that will keep me from having the like bingy, indulgent habits that could happen when you're sitting in the car all day and you just get bored. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to do everything I can by bringing everything I can to help me stay on track during this vacation. Will there be indulgences? Absolutely. I currently am also not planning on tracking on the cruise, mainly because the program is going to have changed by then, for one, and I have no idea what it actually is going to be, and two, I will not have any internet access to actually use my Weight Watchers app. So I'm just going to have to use my best judgment most of the time. So no tracking on the cruise, but bringing stuff to set myself up for success for the rest of the trip. Obviously, Thanksgiving is going to happen and it's going to be great, and I'm totally going to be loosening the reins on Thanksgiving, but not going overboard. That is my goal. My other goal is to find ways to stay active in Florida. Now that it isn't scorching hot there like it is when we visit in the middle of the summer, being outside more and walking and getting steps in should be no problem. My husband and my sister-in-law and I are going to be doing a 5K the morning of Thanksgiving to get our blood pumping and get steps in before the meal even happens. And we're going to be generally trying to keep track of ourselves. Thankfully, because my husband will be there and my sister-in-law will be there, I have several like-minded people in terms of health and fitness in the same house, which is going to be wonderful, and we're going to be a great support system for one another. And now looking ahead to this week. This week is actually when the crazy starts, because we head out this weekend after a party on Saturday. And today, actually, the chaos started a little bit because, and this is totally like not Weight Watchers related, but completely Weight Watchers related. This morning, my parents put down our 14-year-old Chihuahua, and my sisters and I have been completely heartbroken and devastated all day knowing that that happened. My mom called last night to give me a heads up, and I immediately went over there, took Gracie to go see him, and we hung out with Alice and hung out with Killer, and there are 3 other dogs there still, but like 14 years old, Killer has been around almost half of my entire life. Like, half my life is a long time. And so today I have been an emotional disaster. Disaster. Like, in the morning I spent more time in tears than not in tears, and I'm baffled that I actually don't look like a hot mess. Like, since I put my makeup on, I was like, you cannot break into tears until you are done filming this video because you're just gonna be a disaster. The reason that this life event is relevant is the fact that I have been an emotional wreck today. It is devastating. Like, I'm so heartbroken, my chest physically hurts. I have not once reached for food as comfort at all today. At all today. On the contrary, my appetite disappeared. Like, I had to force myself to eat a banana because I had no appetite, but I could tell I was physically starving. I needed to eat something, but I didn't want to eat something. And the reason this is relevant to a weekly weigh-in video is because this is the complete opposite of how I would have reacted in the past to a big emotional issue. Reaching for food as comfort has always been a thing for me. And today, in one of the most devastating things that has happened to me and my family in a while, I have not been reaching for food, which is just, I can't explain it. So in light of the sadness that we are all experiencing today, this gives me a little bit of hope that I will actually be able to survive the holiday season on track, which is amazing. So it's sad, and it has been one of the roughest days I have experienced in a while, but you know what? I got makeup on, I'm in front of the camera, and I thanked the weight loss gods this morning when I stepped on that scale and saw a loss, because I thought for sure I was gonna have a gain and it would just be like the icing on top of a crap cake, you know? And I saw a loss and I was like, oh, I needed this small win so badly today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So knowing that I have somehow developed that kind of control, is it going to be perfect? No, but I just, little successes like that. Have you heard like the phrase success begats success? The more progress you see, the more motivated you are to continue to make progress. That's kind of what is happening to me mentally. I'm like, wow, I'm actually surviving this in a really great and really atypical way. And that gives me a lot of hope for succeeding in the future mentally and not looking to food for comfort and becoming much more aware of, am I hungry? Do I really want this? The fact that I stopped eating the big piece of cake at my birthday party because I was like, you know what? Too much sugar. It's not even good anymore. I will finish it later. And I did finish it later. But the fact that I acknowledged it was time to stop and stopped was amazing to me. Guys, the weight loss journey is a process, but I promise you, if you stick to it and persevere and open yourself to learning about yourself and growing and changing, it does in fact get easier. I have had losses for several weeks in a row now, even when I have felt I did not deserve them. And it is because all of these little changes, like the mental ones, are making a huge difference in the decisions I make without really thinking about them. You know what I'm saying? So it's overall a good thing. So to recap, this might be the last weekly weigh-in for a little while. I don't know. I do plan on doing Vlogmas. However, it won't happen every day in December because the first week of December, we are not going to have access to the internet, but we will be vlogging while we are on the cruise, I promise. So you might get bombarded with some videos once we get back. And then I plan on vlogging every day. During those vlogs, I will probably throw a weekly weigh-in in there, unless I get the opportunity to sit down and actually have a chat with you. I'm bringing everything along, so maybe I will do a weekly weigh-in or two between now and the new year. That is, if I have time. I'm not gonna stress myself out about it. Time with family is the most important thing for the next month, but you never know. So stay tuned, make sure you are subscribed because you will be first to know every time I upload something new, and there will be plenty, I promise you. Let me know in the comments below how you did this week. Did you have any successes? Did you have anything you need a little bit of help with? And did you have any non-scale victories? My non-scale victory this week is actually as I'm going through my summer clothes and pulling things out to go to Florida and go on a cruise, I'm trying things on just to make sure things fit right. And my summer shorts are fitting me a little bit better than they did this summer, which is amazing. Thank you, non-scale victories. So let me know what your non-scale victories are down below. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Take care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.